All right, welcome back. um, yeah, so this is another version of or episode of This is Not Your Mama's Bible Study, because we know that his story lies. And again, not all the time. And I don't think it was meant to. It's just like we just have a false notion again or perception as to what we're reading here because due to education and religious institutions. Okay, so again, it's all about this and how you perceive. Okay, because perception is everything. And if you let someone else cultivate your mind in a sense, then it's going to be whatever it is they want it to be. Okay, so again, I'm just basically just waking up, and I just wanted to get straight to this, and so we're going to go ahead and jump right in. So yeah, nobody doing all that getting dressed and everything, not just yet. I'm just come back and talk to y'all later on. I might be ready, but right now it's about the word. Okay, so anyway, I can't even remember where we were because I kind of like accidentally flashed y'all in the last video, so I had to just stop it real quick and see what was going on. But so again, remember, the Lord God is now creating. So this is the Lord God. Okay, this is not God. God is resting at this point, right? So, all right. So the serpent came to the woman and says, "Really?" He asked, None of the fruits in the garden?" All right, I don't know. It's just looking weird or whatever. All right, so all right, well, let's just go back up a little bit. Okay. Because the Lord God caused man to fall into a deep sleep. The Lord God caused man to fall into a deep sleep. And took one of his ribs. Now, let's just slow down right there. Let's just. Then the Lord God caused the man, the Lord God, which is not God, caused the man, okay, which is not Adam, to fall asleep into a deep sleep, and took one of his ribs and closed up the place from which he had removed it. Well, we know when we're talking about the reef on Moana, I like to go back to these movies because they're very telling. It also stems back to the mind. So when I'm telling you that God had created them both male and female, and he called them man or called them Adam, at some point in time, something was removed from a portion of man, which it might be them both, or it might be just the feminine aspect, because again, we always know that these goddesses go back to being blinded. They have something over their head or some kind of blinders or something. They're blindsided in a sense, right? And what I feel like that rib has to do when it comes to me and my circumstances, the things that I've gone through in this journey, it feels as though, yes, something has been removed. There's a blind spot there so that I can't see things so somewhat clearly. Has this been done by a God or a God? Again, I don't think that I would do that to myself if I were talking about a goddess or the goddess, right? So it's almost like even when we're saying, okay, so even when we're talking about falling into this deep sleep or a slumber. You know how people say we woke, but sometimes you call people sleep. And so it could also be talking about a mindset. It can be talking about a mindset, some kind of formula in order to alter the mind, right? But we're going to keep saying this over and over again. The Lord God caused the man, we just talked about what that could be, to fall into a deep sleep, and took one of his ribs and took one of his ribs and closed up the place thereof from which he had removed it. Now, The fact that we're saying that he did we take the rib from the Lord God? Because the Lord God caused the man to fall into a deep sleep and took one of his ribs. Whose ribs? The Lord God's ribs or the man's rib? Is anybody slowing down to read this the proper way? And closed up the place thereof, that he had removed it, and made the rib into a woman. And made the rib into a woman. Wow. And brought her, that woman, onto the man. Now, I can't remember if we are already in a point where God had already created both man and woman at the same time, because there's different creation stories in this chapter. He had already made them. So why would the Lord, which is a landlord, or we can look at as a person that is presiding in the east of the garden, or in the garden? We know that presidents have some type of power in this worldly realm to do certain things with technology and with other types of things. We know that there's some foolery going on, or we've seen some foolery when it comes to unmasking certain things on individuals that we see on our television or within this realm. We've seen strange things that make us think that some things aren't what they seem to be, especially now. So the Lord God, again, and we can just look at this as a video that we did recently about someone in the current campaign or position, and a woman that was on the news speaking about this individual during the time of his election or selection. And at the time when I did separate videos, did not even correlating the two until now. Hindsight. That when I said what I said about that, something that individual was bringing forth, and I did a separate video. I did a video and I said something in the end. I think it was basically even just taken out of context of what I said. At that time, things started to change. Now I'm looking back hindsight to find out that that person was on the news talking about this particular president in voting. I told you, people that are speaking 100% truth are not going to be accepted. The chosen ones that are the real literal ones, not the idols that were made by man's hands, the originals, are going to be treated and dealt with so different than they would with the idols. Idols are built, they're built up and formed up and, whatever, to be something to take the place of what would be the original. It's an alteration. All right. That could be talking about any, you know what I'm saying? That could be talking about either, really. And he brought her to the man. Now, God had already, I believe, prior to this, made woman and man and called them Adam or called them man. And he said, "This is it," Adam exclaimed. "She is part of my own bone and flesh. Her name is woman because she was taken out of man." So is woman mankind? Is this woman mankind? Something that's kind of like a man? This explains why a man leaves his father and mother and is joined to his wife in such a way that the two become one person. So are we talking twin flames? Are we talking celestial twins? Are we talking soulmates? Are we talking that one person, that we're talking telepathic communications and things like this? Where as though I feel like whatever might be, whoever may be attached to me has some way of viewing in on me, but I can sense them. I can feel them, but I cannot go in on what they're thinking all the time. The things I need to know, the depths of the things that I need to see. But again, I think that, again, we're talking about many women. We're talking about women in general. We're talking about these women that are running around here arguing and really getting upset and exposing certain things, like I said, because, and including me, it can be looked at as that. But again, I feel like I'm in a separate category, right? Like a not untouchable as in the Dalit, again, could be, or in the Sheol or in the underworld, but just untouchable because of being someone who was there in the beginning of, or before the beginning, I feel, of creation. And that whatever it is taking something, whether it's the Lord God is taking from me to disperse out and build an empire of empresses or high priestess or whatever in order to do something. Again, this is for understanding. This is never to bash. There's nothing I want to do. I'm never wanting to bash my God, my King. But if I feel there's something deceptive going on, or if my King has been infiltrated and turned against me, I need to be that vessel, that conductor that can flip things over and put them back into perspective for the both of us. While he is supposed to be protecting me, not sending out smear campaigns and other things. And is that him doing that, or is that another form of a Lord God, which wants things to go the way that the worldly people want it to go, that are in elevated statuses, or is he doing this on his own? And then that is going to cause a conflict between me and my King or my God, our God, right? So I don't look at it that way. I don't hold grudges. I'm not out to get nobody. I'm out to tell the truth. Justice will be served, and I'm here to balance that. I am here to bring order to the court. And again, sitting in my full power, again, in this realm, right? Where I'm on my throne, and I will not be overthrown, and I will not give up, and I will not sell my birthright to anyone. It's not going to happen. Again, you cannot recreate this. You can take from this, you can take it, you can shelter this and hide this and take what's from it and give it to others in order to build up idols to put them in the places thereof. The four corners of the earth also represents 4 giant women, 4 phenomenal women. So again, I'm not looking at it to hate these women. Maybe they're not aware. And maybe I'm here to bring awareness, right? And maybe they are very well aware. And they are just enjoying the fruits. Maybe even fruits that they were not supposed to touch. From the tree in the center of the garden. The life giver. The mother, right? Of the living and the dead. Not just the living, of all, the all. Her name is woman because she was taken out of man. This explains why a man leaves his father and mother and joined to his wife in such a way that they will become one person. This is not talking about a baby in your, in a sense. It's not talking about, well, and then again, it can be in a sense where we're talking about, because I was just looking at this part where it says Tubal Cain. And it reminded me of Tubal. And it reminds me of surrogacy. And it reminds me of what type of things are we talking about? I will bring up movies and reference these things because, again, it's the easiest way to do so. In Jupiter Ascending, they sent her to a clinic so that they can collect her eggs. And they had a mysterious way of doing this with some kind of technology that was beyond whatever we see. So whatever you see today that they allow you to see when it comes to, we're just using a layman's term when it comes to this type of thing, when it comes to technology. They're showing you what they're doing. That's from 30 years ago or something. They're way more advanced these days. I heard someone talking about walking through walls and things like this. I don't know if you've seen that movie, The Invisible Man. I don't know if any of you women have been having problems with your menstrual and heavy bleeding and symptoms of possible pregnancy or other things around that time. Because when Mama see what's going on with her children, no matter if they are living or dead, because God did not create death. Did the Lord God create it? Who created it? In a sense of legal formalities, when we're talking about status, or if it says death, that means that he did not create it. So again, we don't really die. We multiply. Your ancestors are here. It's just, do we know how to tap in and connect? Church didn't teach you that. The education system didn't teach you that. They reserved that for the ones that they need to make sure they teach you to basically stay in line and not access and tap into those things. And again, are we talking about mind altering something? Are we talking about, like in Jupiter Ascending, the guy had the thing in his eye or whatever that he can look and see? Now, although the man and his wife, the one he was joined with, not the one he was created with, he was created with a woman, male and female, and called them Adam or them man. But now the Lord God created. So again, this Lord God must not have been happy with what was originally formed by God. Do we think that someone could have the power or the tech to be able to do that in these days? Now, although the man and his wife were both naked, and this just means exposed or put out in Front Street, or this could be mean these type of things, right? Neither of them was embarrassed or ashamed. Again, because maybe they didn't know. You know? So again, the only one that would be embarrassed or ashamed would be the ones that knows that their personal things are being exposed or expelled out to the world. Now, I know that this is being done to me in a sense. I don't know how deep it goes at all, but I'm not aware of it. I haven't seen the pure evidence. I am just a seer. And this is something that was bestowed upon me for these times so that I will be able to see, because somebody knew that they were going to try to blind me. But I'm not invited to those platforms. So I don't know about those things. I can just hear, I can see people in the community. I can see their energy. I can sense souls around them. And I can sense certain things where I know who some of these players are. And again, I know because I appointed some of these players. I was there when they were appointed. When you're talking walking with God in here, as he devises his plans and also co-creates with, right? To see what we need. That's something that naturally, organically happened. But when man catches on to this, he is going to be able to what? Then tap in and start to do his own thing with what God had already created. Very pure, basic, not basic, but very pure and powerful on its own. So the serpent was the craftiest of all the creatures that the Lord God had made. So the serpent came to the woman Someone may say, is the serpent a reptilian? I don't know. But he didn't come to man, because remember, both female and male and female, and he called them Adam or them man. No, notice it doesn't say that. It says that he came to the woman, the woe man. And and then the next thing it says is really, with a comma. I mean a question mark. Really, he said, none of the fruit in the garden? Question mark. God says you mustn't eat. And then somebody says, God says you mustn't eat of any of it. So this must be. So the serpent came to the woman. Really, he asked. So the serpent is a man, because it's saying he. Is looking at it as a male energy. Okay, so the serpent came to the woman. Really, he asked, none of the fruit of the garden? And then she, I'm guessing if he asked her a question, then she answered, God says you mustn't eat of any of it. So who is that? She's talking about the serpent, which is being represented as a man here. And she is telling him, God said you can't eat of any of it. And eat also means to consume. What does it mean? To consume food or nourishment, or take something, to devour, take something from. This, now again, this is in a sense, to me, a literal sense, this is also talking about someone robbing or taking from. This could be knowledge. This could be land. This can be a title. This can be inheritance. This can be finances. This could be anything that they were not supposed to. They can take from anything in the garden, but not from this tree. Not from the one in the center, or the Middle Eastern or Midwest. Possibly. I don't know. This is just what I'm saying. Because then it goes back to the 4 rivers, the Paisan, and so on and so forth, right? 4 corners, I'm not sure. And then I'm guessing he replies, of course, we, or she, right? So he says, you mustn't eat of any of it. Of course, we may eat. The woman, okay, so yeah, I'm glad I reversed that. Of course, we may eat of it, the woman told him. It is only the fruit from the tree at the center of the garden that we are not to eat. That is God's tree. That is his portion. That is a sealed portion. That is the world that we did the world card on. That is what we're talking about. And you can take it how you want to. Because when people start appointing themselves, and that's what's wrong with us today, we're not finding ourselves in appointing. You're afraid that you might blaspheme, or you're afraid that, oh, people ain't gonna, or they think, or how dare they say that I am or she is. No, I'm telling you what it is. God says we mustn't eat of it or even touch it, or we will die. So when people are, the woman is being, now again, we have this woman, this group of women that are now being used and given tools and given gifts and ciphering. Someone is ciphering gifts from the woman, from wisdom. That's not funny. We can go ahead and use that, from wisdom, in order to create or conduct other idolized versions of her, in order to have them worshipped while we keep her a secret in the secret garden. And we secretly visit in that garden, but they are to observe, not to touch. But they want to give the impression that something has been defiled or touched. Because if we think about that story of Inanna, or I cannot wait, I don't want to say which one of the goddesses it is. We'll say a version of a goddess, that they were trying to defile her so she could not make it back to her God, to her man. And we're all in our lives, in our everyday lives. Some people are in situations, in marriages, and whatever, and we are waking up to this fact. So again, I do see that now there are things that need to be altered and changed, but you also have to be very discerning, and you have to be very wise, because we can also walk into the arms of those that are waiting to devour you and your things and leave you rotten and stinking. So somebody gonna have to show me. So again, we go back to Proto-Germanic. I'm telling you, Old Saxon, Dutch, Old High German. What do we know about history when we talk about these particular energies? These people, they were the first that came upon some shores of a place like this place. But we also have Old Norse. Now, that reminds me of American Gods in Lebanon. That is a place that is here in like Kentucky. I can't remember where it is or whatever, right? Because again, Nords also reminds me of, North Node or Nordic or, right? So it says a transferred sense of corrode, wear away, consume, waste. This is what's going on with Gaia, with Mother. To preoccupy. You see this? To keep you preoccupied, or even with things. They want Mother to come and conform to what man in this world feels like it is, when she is trying to do a service to her God and to her children and her people, to balance things out and bring order to the court. And they don't like that. They want someone that they can bend and ply and bribe with gifts and all those giftly things. You know what I'm saying? It's just not the way to engross. Okay, and we know gross has something to do with funds. And preoccupy, that means play the part of. Like, come on. Slang, sexual sense of doing, do cunninglingus on. So cunning. Retract, to take back what one has uttered. Again, this is what I feel like even with my energy lately, that it's like I put something out and then something is like, oh, don't do that, and it's like, and I'm just thinking like, no more. No, I'm going to do what I'm going to do, what I've been put here to do. And that's just it. And again, I feel like that's what I'm saying. Like when it says retract or something like that, like, dude, I feel like I'm the empress. I'm on my throne. What do I feel like? I'm doing what I'm doing out of the kindness of my heart, or to get someone with understanding. But what am I going to be doing? No, I'm not going to be like nobody else. It reminds me of that meme that says all these 3 girls are over there talking about, oh, you can't sit with us. And she like, I didn't say I wanted to. I'm here to help you. You could either take it or you can leave it. Matter of fact, it takes away from my stance to have to do this, but I see that there are crafty things going on in the garden, so I'm going to have to address those things, or else I am going to be the one that goes down in history silently, or in the end, someone who is easier to kill after they feel like they've extracted what they can from me to place in the hands of others, so that they can reign in this way. So I'm addressing something. And if people look at me as a form of a dictator, that's because I am one of the ones. I am one of the ones. And since nobody else is doing it, and they're not doing it this way, then I'm going to continue to do it. They can't do it this way. It can be looks as though, but they need, again, nothing against these particular things that people are using. I'm talking about the people that's out there hating, that's talking all that trash about people not using cards and things like this. And I'm not sure if they're talking about whoever, but I'm letting you know that there's some of us, or I know I'm one of them, that again, it's nice to have those things. It would be nice too, but some of us conduct that energy regardless through the vessel, and it is spewing out. And those of them were created to go ahead and be the ones that would be pushed to the top and promoted and brought forth to crowd and cloud the judgment of the people against the original. You would not have any of that. Just like I said, who in that one chapter that we're reading, I don't know if it was Isaiah, it said, how did you get the things? How did you obtain these things? Wasn't it God that helped you get these things? It's about respect. It's about respect. I know that I'm here to push a certain, I'm not trying to mow down every single person that I feel is benefiting from the energy and information, but without you saying where you got the inkling from, or either sharing someone else's information, that is also hindering what God has sent people here to do. And you know better. You know better. I'm not like everybody else, and I never will be. But I'm trying to be as pure as heart, and I'm working on that even more these days. And I don't hold grudges, and I don't do these things, and so it's a little bit easier. And these are my children, so you see what I'm saying? So it is a little bit. And then again, if I am blindsided in a sense, then we're dealing with angels and other entities that can maybe have a one up because they know exactly what's going on. So again, God is not dead, but could he or she be asleep, or they be asleep? Eat one's heart out. Again, it feels like exactly what people are trying to do. Or eat one's hat. Again, that makes me think something about a head or whatever too. Reference to kitchens in 1955, to eat out, to dine in from home. Again, taking food used of animals only. Worry or cause anxiety in a persistent way. Use up. That song, something about keep on using me. If using me feel this good, then something, but I'm going to use you up. But at the end of that song, it said, because I'm doing the same thing to you. And I caught that and I'm like, okay. All right. So anyways, eat, the verb in WordNet is also saying cause to deteriorate due to action of water, air, and acid, corrode, okay, rust. So again, of water, maritime energies. And not all maritime energies are bad. I don't think that they are. I just think that there are some. Okay. Let's see. I'm just trying to see. Anteater. Okay, it's using all these other things to talk about related terms. All right. So we're going to keep on going. So again, because we're going to be talking about eating the fruit, right? So they're not supposed to eat from the, hold on. All right. All right. So again, that they were not supposed to eat. Okay. And then it's funny how we say air too, because it reminds me of the fowl of the air, actually. Whew. Okay. What did that say? Hold on. Of water, air, and acid. Again, that acid is kind of reminding me of like something also being seared or burned, or, you know, like a cauterized or something. All right. So again, it says, or we will die. Okay. Now again, sometimes I think like when it's talking about that, like, you know, you're not supposed to eat from the middle of the garden or from that particular tree. And possibly are we talking about the tree of knowledge of good and evil already? Because again, this tree, the life giver, she is God as well, right? She is God in a sense. All right, my fault. Okay. So again, I'm wondering if that's what we're talking about, because again, if somebody wants to be able to operate without her, because she's going to give it to you raw and real. She's not going to be confined. She knows who she is. She knows that before all of these people, she was already here. She was already here. She is the matriarch. She is the Alpha and the Omega in a sense. So she's going to be aware. She's going to be roused, that lioness, in that time. And hopefully with her mate as well, whoever that living God would be. So again, so the serpent says, that's a lie. The serpent hissed. So this serpent says, no, that's a lie. Right? You will not die. You'll not die. So he didn't say we ain't gonna die. He said, that's a lie. You won't die. But again, is this serpent trying to help this other woman figure out that, do you see what I'm saying? Because really, he's not even really telling a lie, I don't think, at this point. You won't die. The serpent may die, but not you. And then this says, God knows. Now we're referring back to God from the beginning that created. Very well, that the instant you eat it, you will become like him. Are we even talking something about like immortality? For your eyes will be open. Whose eyes? The woman? The women that have been sent, that I feel have been able to tap into certain things, because I've been thinking this, and I'm just going to go off the wall, and I'm just going to go all the way in these videos from now on. They're able to take from the trees, but not the one from the center of the garden, because they will die, or they will be just like him. Look at this. For your eyes will be open. What is that? Your third eye? So have people been feeding off of the mother? People been given the right by some way, shape, or form on this planet to steal from mother, to tap into my records, to tap into my force field, to tap into my energy and make me feel drained and make me feel like it's something wrong with me, because you got people tapping into my energy and you want them to now you're raising up an army of the Lord God to come against God. That's what's going on. For your eyes will be open. Now, they won't be the same, but they're going to be open. But then there's more people that's going to be looking at this mother goddess as though they want to be her. There's envy, jealousy, strife that's going to come up. And then that is going to make the mother goddess or God kind of upset. And that is going to make her retaliate. And that is going to make things very difficult for some people on this plane if they keep on playing. And that's just how I feel. dealing with all these things, this magic and sorcery and all these things, and then saying that somebody else is. I don't have to dabble in any of that. The only thing I got to do is go up in here to get what I need, and then that's what it's going to be. And it's not even being cocky. I'm just had enough. The people in these principalities, all of it, it's just over. Like, stop. I mean, they can keep doing what they want to do. What you're not going to do is break me. You may be able to tap in, but you can't penetrate fully, and you cannot. No, it just ain't going to happen like that. And I'm going to keep on coming back. So you're going to come, you'll become like him, but you ain't going to be becoming like me, because the mother goddess is the one that birthed all. So you may come close and you may be able to tap in to me like him, but it's not the same. So when you wonder why you're mad, that's why. For your eyes will be open, you will be able to distinguish good from evil. The woman was convinced. How lovely and fresh looking is it? Fresh looking it was. And it would make her so wise. I think we have a case of identity theft. And I think that it is dealing with a familial or a family line. It's dealing with heraldry. So she ate some of the fruit and gave some to her husband. To her husband. So are they stealing from God's wife? His choicest pearl, the one that he put in reserve for himself? And he ate it too. And as they ate it, suddenly they became aware of their nakedness and were embarrassed. Now, let's go back up here to where it says, now, although 25, 3 and 25, 2 and 25. Now, although the man and his wife were naked, both naked, neither of them were embarrassed or ashamed. So these people already was not, they was already naked and not embarrassed or ashamed. But when you come down here, this woman, see, it's called a man and wife up here, but it's called husband, right? Let's see what it's called. The woman and the husband down here. You see how that's a hijack right there on his own? So they ate of the fruit and gave some. She ate of the fruit and gave some to her husband, and they ate it, and suddenly they became aware of their nakedness. This is another form of that creation. This is a dual or a decoy or a artificially intelligent form of that original. A copy, an idol, possibly. We're just saying. And they were embarrassed. Why? The other ones wasn't embarrassed because they was already given. This is their world. This is them. But no, these ones, they were embarrassed when they found out. So you have been uncovered and you were embarrassed. And now people are working vigorously day and night on platform to platform to go ahead and cover up what has been done. Look at this. They were embarrassed, so they strung fig leaves around together to cover themselves around the hips. Hip, part of a human body where the pelvis and the thigh joint, okay, of uncertain origin and architecture, external angle, adjunction, two sides of the roof, hip pocket something, a seed pod. Oh, A seed pod. Oh, so again, when we're talking about planting seeds, can these seeds be being extracted from the tree of life and given to the woman and her husband so that they can take what would be royal heirs amongst themselves and use them for nourishment, to use them for some kind of hidden form of inheritance that, again, the two in the beginning would be blinded of this, but someone else is reaping the benefits of whatever it is that is theirs. And these people would be crafty, I would say, in those departments because the Lord God had already formed them to be able to do these things when they came into the garden. So everybody's looking like all these wow signs and wonders. How did you know that? Oh my goodness, woo. But they were okay to take from all the other gardens. When they put their hands on the shit that belonged to the tree in the center of the garden, that you messed up. Because now I see. And now you mad. And now you want to try to create more smear campaigns to come to try to make it seem as though, and it's one of these words in here, and I don't know if we've gotten to it yet, that basically says that. It's a campaign to, what is the word? A Briar, let's see, informed, something that was brought in and formed. African American vernacular. HEP. Well, let's just look at that. HEP. Something about jazz. Cry to investigate attacks on Jews in Europe. Look at that. Oh, so is this what people talking about behind the scenes about some kind of court something or whatever? Because now you want to cry. Now you want to cry out. Oh, and that's why in that video I said I really didn't want to say much. I was just pointing out something and we're just questioning something, right? Because these people, and that's why I said, because they think they're so crafty, they want to use their law to fight against certain individuals. They're going to use the law to say, oh, look, oh, this is slander. The whole time they're doing it low key on other platforms to the mother. But they know that I'm not dealing with all that stuff that man made, laws, which mean lie and all this other shit. So again, it's a way. It's a way. So they want to make me feel bad and unworthy because I don't have those documents. I don't need them. Whatever it is that I need is pumping straight directly through my vessel, through my blood, through my DNA, through my Akashic records. I don't need those particular things all the time. They may benefit and help. It would be nice to have a helpmeet, someone that can help me and guide me through whatever we need to be doing. But again, it seems like they're all invested or whatnot into these other idols. That is idol worship, and you're not feeding the original. And so everybody is, the whole thing is going to go to trash again. And they want to call me bitter. I'm not the one that is mad. You gonna be if you keep doing the things that you're doing. Matter of fact, I feel it's already done. Informed about the latest trends. Let's go back. In the field. Okay, that's the word I wanted to use. Hold on real quick. Because we did already say that this person was the craftiest in the field, right? So it says in the plain, the pastures, the open land, cultivated land, as opposed to the wood land. Again, wood also was considered to be a form of speaking of indigenous or original peoples. Cutting down the cherry tree and all these things is referring to family trees. A partial of land marked off. A partial of land that's marked off. A partial of possibly earth that is marked off. They want me to think that they're coming from me and they can do this to me and all these things. This piece has been marked off. I don't have anything to worry about at this point in time. You will have something to worry about if you continue to try to come for me. This is why all the work, and I'm hearing people say these things, this is why all the work that they're trying to do is not working when it comes to the spiritual and this is why I resonate and I reside and I sit in the spiritual zone more than I do in this worldly realm. And I don't get along with people, or they don't like me because I don't have nothing against them because of the way that they live. They have something against me the way that I see things. Because I know when you take away all that shit, there's nothing. So I've decided to take the time to concentrate on that and go within and sit and sit and sit. And it looks so boring. She's lonely. No, I am very much, very full at this time in my life. And I owe it to Source. And I never thought I would be at that point where I would even be able to say that 20 years ago. A parcel of land marked off and used for pasture or tillage. So tilling, what is that doing? That's digging. That's robbing. Probably related to Old English, earth, land, Proto-Germanic. I keep telling you, we ain't all the same. We ain't all the same. And since people want to talk about skin tone so much, we're not all the same. We're not all copper colored. People want to dismiss that copper color term. Don't do it. No, copper colored. Sardine stone. Those that are very chocolate dark, we are dealing with Dutch. We are dealing with the Germans that are also wearing feather skirts. Now, that is not to say nor here nor there. I am just pointing out the fact of what it is. When it comes to people that have more Asiatic features, I'm not saying that they are originally from here. I'm saying they were here before the Germans, before the Irish. They were here before all of these other people. They were here before the Europeans. They were here before the Dutch. That's all I'm saying. And the pyramids in South America and Mexico are older than the ones in Egypt. So again, they were already here. If we think about India superior or Asia minor, or all of that stuff was already here. Ethiopia, all of that stuff, again, ancient Egypt, not Egypt, but ancient Egypt. All of that stuff, there was a portion of those particular people here. Even Africa, in America. I've done a video and I think it's still on my PC. I don't think I've put it up yet, but it was about the Sudanese people and resemblances that I found in culture, in stature, and everything of the people that they are talking about that are in Chad right here in the Americas around the time of the fur trade. Those are the same people. And we're talking about the northern or Midwestern area here in the Americas. So again, the field, the earth, but not found originally in Western Germanic, Swedish, blah, 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 whatever, the field. Let's see, a flat to spread. Excuse me, my throat has just been, battleground, okay? A collective use for all engaged in a sport. The only one that wasn't sure that this was a sport was me. That people think that this is a competition is me. It's not no competition, honey. I'm here. It has never been a competition. Someone made you think that. And I know I did not go to college. I have no education. I've never picked up a spell book to do a spell on anybody. I don't dabble in whatever you think this is. I use this. While everybody else seems to be growing in this world, I am the one that they want to keep stagnant. I am the one that it seems whatever I'm doing, I cannot even go there. Partially, yes, it could be something that has to do with me, but part of it is because this is a very serious job that I have to do here. And the other part of it, right, is that I don't have the energy to try to feed and grow in a artificial world that is not going to mask for anything, because the people are not going to wake up. They're not going to act right. They're going to continue to do this, and everything that they're building is going to be torn down. Not one brick will be fucking remaining. Do you understand? This is what I'm saying. And this is just not even, it's just, come on. I mean, it just is what it is. And again, the cornerstone that was rejected, we will see. Because they're going to get a kingdom. And since some people touch things that they didn't have no business touching, those are going to be the people that have to pay. Rustic. Funny we're using that term rust again. Rural. Okay? And it's also saying, and of slaves, or work in the field. Okay? A field hand. So again, what they want to do is try to turn the original into a housemaid. I'm not sharing no platform. I'm not sharing no, that's not me. It's the empress and the emperor or nothing else. Or nothing else. I don't deal with I question what the Lord God did. And I don't deal with what man do. So, to the best of my ability, I don't. So, what are we talking about? I'm dealing with source. And sometimes I question that God after whatever was done, or even in Genesis 1. Because maybe he forgot too. Just like I might have forgot. Maybe he forgot. And so we're here, and I am here for a reminder. That has nothing to do with trying to be a bee or nothing like that. It's just what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. To go out to fight. That's what this field is representing. The battlefield. To stop and return the ball. Again, order to the court. I'm hoping we're talking about a basketball court or something. Because again, order in the court. And again, a piece of land cleared of trees and usually enclosed, like the world card that we did, right? And then also, it's always been a problem for me. Now, I renewed my ancestry page again, but it's always been a problem with me with things that are marked out, rubbed out, things like this that halt. They just halt the direction when it comes to me doing my genealogy. Things that like hurdles that is so hard to get over. Right? That's just what that reminds me of. Everything is so hidden and secret. I don't just get to go in there and just everything is right there. You know what I'm saying? I got to use the biblical text. I got to go into different things to try to find out this stuff. Somewhere away from a studio or office. Look at that. Away from a studio or office or library or laboratory where practical work is done or data is collected. Understand what I'm saying? They're collecting data. They're definitely collecting data from, and that pisses me off. Don't, and whether this is God or anybody else, don't try to defile my temple, and don't try to, don't bring an idol in and allow them to tap into my Akashic records or my information. Things that I am sitting here trying to, figure out on my own or to do certain healing that I want to know. But you are going to allow someone, and again, this is where this come in when this get messy with these girls. You allow somebody to come in and let them into your secret garden, which is, again, would be me in a sense, and have access to things that have something to me. That is the most disrespectful thing somebody can ever do to me. And the fact that someone may be upset because they feel like I'm coming at you some kind of way, and to let others around me that are not worthy of my time or my space. And I'm thinking we must be dealing with a fake God or something, because how could you even let anybody, you see what I'm saying? Especially after we're already to the point where somebody went in there and touched the tree. So again, I think we're going to wait until we put up the cherubim and stuff at the end of the garden. But at that point in time, you can already allow defilement to happen. Because again, if she's blinded, she can't protect herself in all those ways, in the spiritual realm, in the sleep realm, and all these realms. So you're leaving her being able to be accessed by what? And then you think that she's going to pay the price? You think I'm going to pay the price for that? Something that I don't even know nothing about? No. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it. I am not the one. I don't know who the hell or where I came. I am not the one. I don't do whatever it is these people are saying, or they think they see him when they come to me. You must be looking at a clone, or you looking at a damn holograph, or you looking at something else, because it ain't me. Or somebody is doing something in order to block me from me, so I cannot participate or see what's going on in those particular realms, which I call some kind of drugged or some type of situation where somebody is doing some kind of magic or something on me where I'm not aware. That's just the bottom line, period. Anyways, a branch of knowledge, a space around a radiating body within which is electromagnetic oscillations can exert force on another similar body, not in contact with it. But it's right fucking there. It's right there. Look at that. That's it. And now it's saying a piece of land that is prepared to play the game. So you're taking from, so you can make right? So they can be able to play the game. We're in a simulation, first of all. Mathematics, in WordNet, also field now, mathematics, a set of elements such as an addition and multiplication are commutative and associative, and multiplication is distributive over addition, and there are two elements, O and I. Wow. A region in which active military operates or are in progress. Again, this whole thing what they're talking about, Israel being protected and unprotected, they know exactly what they was doing when they left me unprotected. They know exactly what they were doing when they left me to be fending for myself. I told you, when it comes to visuals, they're giving you what you want to see as far as the bombs and everything going on over there in that land overseas. When it comes to the spiritual warfare, that's happening to me. That's happening to us over here. And where everything was, the old world is the world. It was the beginning. It was there before the beginning. And things were actually originated more often than you think in the Americas. And things were taken and dispersed out into the world when America is who she is. All the aqueducts and stuff are under your cities. All these, the water towers are old, left over from the old world. These are things that are, again, the original. Now, I'm not saying it wasn't a form of something over there. But again, even when it comes to Israel in the 40s or whatever, 1940s or something, or Jerusalem, there was already a Jerusalem here in Cortland, Virginia, way before that. And it just so happens that that's where the whole Nat Turner ordeal happened. So we're going to stop that there because I went over an hour and I really didn't want to, but we're just filling ourselves in here. Let's just finish this real quick. Okay. Leaves together. That evening they heard the sound of the Lord God walking in the garden. Again, this sound of the Lord God walking in the garden. And they hid themselves amongst the trees. The Lord God called to Adam, "Why are you hiding?" All this time I've been thinking to myself, oh man, if something about my birthright, I'm not selling my birth. Oh, if it comes to the apple, I want to be there I want to stop them from eating that damn apple. And I'm wondering if somebody has the technology to try to do things and alter things so that it can make it happen anyways, because it's taking too long. She keeps on jumping over all these obstacles. She keeps dodging all the bullets. So we need to make it so that we can make it happen. And that's what I think happened. They hid themselves amongst the trees. And again, these will be familial trees. We're talking about documents that have been altered. We're talking about people's information being stolen and used. We're talking about these type of things like this. The Lord God called to Adam, why are you hiding? And Adam replied, I heard you coming and I didn't want you to see me naked, so I hid. Who told you you were naked? The Lord God asked. Have you eaten fruit from the tree I warned you about? Yes, Adam admitted, but it was the woman you gave me. It was the woman that he gave him. Because these women is the ones that is the witches. They are the ones doing the witchcraft. They are the ones. It was the woman that you gave me who brought me some and I ate it. And the Lord God said to the woman, what is this that thou hast done? But again, the Lord God, let's go ahead and clear this up real quick before I end this video. Hold on. Let's see. Unto the woman, what is this that thou hast done? And the woman said to the serpent, that the serpent beguiled me, and I did eat. And the Lord God said unto the serpent, because thou hast done this, thou art cursed above the cattle and above every beast in the field. Upon thy belly shalt thou go, and dust shalt thou eat all the days of thy life. Now, this is also bringing back personal feelings of when I found out about the fact that there might be someone that they may be trying to put in a certain place. And I think this is what, again, urged me to start looking at these things, but over again. But again, we have to imagine that we're dealing with the Lord God, and the Lord God would be the one that is acting as though he is God. Whether that would be another individual or that would be the governing forces or whatever it would be. This is someone that is playing God while God was resting. And if wisdom has been there from the beginning and she is the one that incarnates, or she comes and she lives on this plane, going from vessel to vessel throughout time, then she's the one that can give birth. We have tribes of women in the islands that something happens with their body. I don't know if it's chemically or whatnot, where at some age they actually go through a process of changing what, sex that they are, right? So again, can a woman have a baby without a man? Possibly. If we do more research on those women, could they? Could they? So if we're going back, and we're even looking at androgynous beings, and we're looking at, because I did another one on Adam and Eve and how it's saying that he made them both male and female. And we were saying, were they talking about androgynous beings? And then what is an androgynous being? Is it also just someone who is a more masculine? Because sometimes I have to ask myself, am I in more divine masculine nature than feminine? And that's why I have a hard time. It's almost like a one sister and like a whole bunch of kings that's brothers, and she has to fit in with the kings. But she thinks that she's divine feminine, but again, she's dealing more in a masculine form, where she is forming her. She is going to be considered somewhat of a king, but a queen. But then, could this be what again Elizabeth would have been in a sense, holding it down by herself? But then society wants you to think that you have to select or elect one of these men so that you can be in your place. Because only kings get crowns. But again, I'm saying that it's something different. There's something different about some of us. And I'm coming to the realization of that. And that has had me in my feelings. And again, sources like, you should know better. This is what you've been already talking about. So what are you even so surprised for? But I was just thinking of androgynous as in one form, like, oh, this part. But no, I feel like it's in different, it can be in different ways, right? So again, we're going to go ahead and stop there because I don't want this video to go over too long, but we're going to keep on going into it. I'm going to go ahead and finish 3 and we're going to go into 4, right? We're going to go into talking about Cain and Abel, because one is a tiller of the ground, that's going to be working on the ground, and one is the one that is the herder of the sheep or whatever. So again, this is like an overseer of chattel or cattle. So again, we're going to stop there, and I'll be back soon. Take care. I don't know. I have a couple things I have to do really quick, so I don't know. We'll see what time I come back with the next one. But anyways, I want to say gratitude and grand rising to all of you that come and stop by and, you know, watch the videos, share, or whatever you do. Again, you know, you're welcome to use the video as you see fit. Again, credit would be nice, but then again, I understand that some people don't want to. Again, but as long as I feel like you don't have to every time, but as long as you're not like creating a whole criteria or whatever off of my information, then you don't want to, you know what I'm saying? You feel like you're in competition with me. That's a different situation. But people that are just truly just trying to share the information, do what you know what I'm saying? I don't know. Maybe I need some young people on my team to help me build in a sense where they can help me chop up some of my older videos and put them on another platform or something like that. Because, you know, I feel like, yeah. Yeah. The more they try to stop me, the more I have to just keep on going in different directions. So, yeah, I want to thank you guys for watching and participating. And don't forget to comment, like, rate, or subscribe, and join us in the Facebook group American Aborigines, where we share alternative information, past, present, and future. And I'll see you guys soon. Take care. Oh, and one more thing. I share people's information in the group. What I share with you, that selected video is what I'm sharing with you. Whether it goes against what I'm saying is interesting, right? And it goes against what I'm saying or goes for what I'm saying. I'm sharing the information to expand minds, not to take sides. So when I share something with you, it's up to you if you want to continue and go on, because I'm finding out a lot of these people flip the script. Once they get some type of support, then they flip the script and they're going in a different direction. So it's up to you if you're going to go and continue with those people or go to other videos. I thought that particular video was a video that was an eye opener, so I shared that video. I'm not supporting their whole particular channel because, again, I noticed a lot of these people flip the script over after they see that I am there, right? So again, and sometimes it's in a negative way. So it's like shows truly what you were really there to do. Right? So, again, there are people that are specifically created for our downfall when it comes to those who are the elect. And it's usually about some kind of gaining something. I'm not looking for nothing but the truth. Take care.